guys, welcome back to another week of trade recap. This is a new series where I've decided to share with you on a week-to-week basis what are some of the trades we took, some of the top process, and of course the lessons behind it as well. And to show you what's the real perspective of trading. Because what I also want to achieve over here is to help you guys understand what trading and investing really is about. Because I observe that there's a lot of different angles, I would say like marketing angles out there that's on the social media, and many people actually fall into it thinking that it's a get-rich-quick solution where overnight in the next 2 or 3 days you'll be able to equip yourself to become like a consistently profitable trader, or even make tons of money in a very short period of time, right? So that's not really the true picture of it, and I hope that this weekly routine of sharing with you what is happening, how we are taking trades, managing it, will be able to give you some light right into understanding what trading and investing is about. So for last week, we do have a couple of trades. The first one I'd like to talk about is over here, Euro Pound. We share this of course with all our members in the eSmart Mastermind. We walk through them every day in the morning to talk to them and share with them what are some of the trades, how we manage accordingly. So this was one of the trades that I would say is one of the easier one that we managed to capitalize on last week. This on Euro Pound, we actually trail our stops. Of course, you can see this is a buy here, almost catching the very bottom. But of course we gave about half of the profits away, but that's part of trading because we were targeting way higher. And we actually trail out of this trade with about 50 pips of profit. The other one that we took is actually a Euro AUD. So this one here is you can see this is where we sold it. Again, it's a breakout with a direction downside. We exceeded the trade over here with about 50 pips as well, because I'm seeing that there's potential bigger correction which is happening right now, right? And of course last week we talked about why I'm looking at the Aussie dollar, or in fact the Australia instead of the New Zealand, right? So we did take this trade to the sell side on Australian dollar as well. You can see over here this is where we enter, but this trade actually exceed with kind of like a break even, right? So there's no win, there's no loss. Some of the members did exceed this trade with maybe a minor loss as well. But I want to give you a glimpse, or a preview into what we talk about on a daily live session, so that you also understand what you're actually getting from being part of this eSmart Mastermind. So let me bring you to the Facebook over here, right? So this is where the live session happens. I want to show you the top process, right? Where I talk about the Australian dollar trade. And hopefully you'll be able to actually learn a little bit also to understand why we exceeded that trade early. Why I say that there's a high probability that this trade is not going to play out, and we want to exceed it. So let me play this, and hopefully it's clear enough for you to understand as well. Yesterday wasn't very great in the sense that we are looking at the 55 pip stops yesterday. The move gave us close to about 30 plus pip, and we saw this kind of reaction. So how do I manage this kind of situation or scenario, right? Is that looking at the lower time frame, we are seeing that this push back up looks pretty impulsive, which means that likely this is gonna form maybe some form of a correction for another push, and this might be a bigger corrective pattern that looks something like this, which might tag us out first before the drop. So from a lower time frame perspective, this is how it looks like because of the recent mini impulse push to the upside. It does seem like the Australia dollar might push slightly to the upside first before forming perhaps the bigger corrective pattern. So for that reason, I would suggest that either you get out right now with a tiny stop loss, tiny loss, right? So it's just about 10 plus pips. Is pretty small right now. Instead of getting the full stop, you can actually get out right now. For me, I actually got out somewhere nearer to the break-even level because of this move here, as I shared with you guys, right? I don't really like that impulse push back up to the upside. Okay, but nonetheless, the whole structure doesn't change. We are still anticipating for more downside, just that right now it seems like short term it can still go back up higher. Okay, and right, so that's the quick recalling of sharing with you what we did in the mastermind, right, as to why we actually exceed, and you can see how price actually developed after that. Okay, so of course, does the whole structure change as of today, right? We're still looking for the downside, okay, but as I shared, I think if you watch this week trade idea, right, instead of the Australian dollar, this week we are actually focusing more on the New Zealand dollar. Okay, so if you haven't watched that, go to that video, right, for you to understand a little bit into why we are looking at New Zealand dollar. And of course, I also shared about how we use the multi-time frame analysis to help us build that conviction and the confidence, and of course increasing our probability towards taking this sell trade on the New Zealand dollar. Okay, so I hope this trade recap video here is able to help you a little bit, especially the focus here is especially on how we manage the Australian dollar, okay, to give you an understanding that it's not all the time gonna be picture perfect in your trading journey, okay, and hopefully there is a little lesson here and there that you'll be able to pick up and benefit your journey along the way as well. Okay, so if you enjoy this video, right, give it a like, share it with your trading friends, and of course if you have any questions, I would appreciate if you can actually drop it your questions right below this video here. That will give me some ideas as to how I can serve you guys better, how I can actually create videos and contents that is really what you guys are looking out for. And of course, if you are ready to join us in the eSmart Mastermind, I've also dropped the link below. You do have a 7-day free trial to really see if this mastermind community is able to benefit you. Right, so with that, I'm gonna talk to you in the next week videos, and I hope you guys having a great trading week ahead. Right, so see you.